The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan. Omae mo shinderu. Nani?
Shall we play?
Player to another.
Dark soul rewind. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the new clan.
Welcome to another episode of Nude Clan. This is Cameron.
Schweiss.
Oh, Caleb Schweiss. I'm so used to Joe. I was waiting for Craig. I was like, Craig, you gonna say something? Yeah, sorry. Lost.
Joe. And Caleb Craig.
All right, for this episode,
Cameron, you haven't won. You haven't.
I know.
You haven't
been a
been
while.
one for so long that I didn't know what to do.
You know, actually, no. It was it my episode where we did the special review for modern World War II Call of Duty?
Yeah, I think it was.
So it wasn't that long ago.
You know, that time Caleb probably was paying attention.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it was probably like the big part.
Today's episode, we're going to review Monster Hunter World, the latest installment in the Monster Hunter series. But before we get into that, what has everyone been playing?
Oh, man. I have played a shitload of Fortnite in the last week. I had Joe play it, but I was pretty bad. It was kind of getting tired, and Joe and I got our asses handed to us. He didn't care for it. I still think the game's a lot of fun.
We got to squad up. No, so Joe, there's a learning curve in this game.
And Cameron and these guys have been playing it way longer than I have, so they're way better at teaching it than me, because I still don't really know.
So a lot of the times I have to babysit Caleb Schweiss when we're playing the game. Oftentimes I'll have to build him cover, give him some support as he's trying to snipe in the middle of an open field. But you know, just a small learning
That's the
curve.
part about the game I don't like, is the cartoony building aspect. I think it's stupid.
To me, it just looked like the game that you guys played a lot, which was Rust. It just reminded me of that.
It's kind of similar. Yeah. Less building. Less
crafting.
crafting.
If you tear it down to like the one part where you tear things down and build things, yeah, kind of like Rust.
And kill a bunch of people.
But yeah, I really like it. I think all of us should jump on. That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I played a ton of that, and then I played Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2.
Yep.
And that is it.
Yeah, I had the same week you did, Schweiss. I played Tactics Advance 2. I got super excited to play some Fortnite with my buddies. And then fucking Comcast cut out for like almost the entire day. I didn't have internet almost the
Which
entire
sucks, because you would have been with us,
Yeah,
all of us.
Which
Yeah.
means I didn't play Fortnite until 10 p.m. when they fixed it 2 hours earlier than their second estimate of the day, as far as when they were going to get done repairing whatever the fuck it was that was wrong with it. But I did get a lot of shit done. That day. I was like, God, I really should not have the internet. I get a lot of shit done.
a utility, though, Joe.
It's fucking not.
You have to have
God
it.
damn.
See, look, you got too much done. That's the problem. You did too much work.
I know. I got so much shit done, dude. There was like a huge thing I had to do for the script I'm writing, like a huge thing that I was just like dreading. I got it done. It was like crazy. It was crazy just how much slower the time goes and how much time you realize you actually have when you don't have the internet. Guys, it's amazing.
Well, let's just turn off your internet once a week. See what you can do with that.
Yeah, your parents aren't going to notice.
They will. My dad goes on YouTube and looks at fucking leather craft shit all night long. Pretty much.
YouTube is like a 10-year-old's realm. So it's weird.
And they watch.
No, YouTube is really good for just YouTube is a 10-year-old's realm when it comes to entertainment. But when you actually want to find instructional things,
Yeah.
YouTube's really
It's
good.
good, yeah.
It is good for that. And I have turned the comments off. I no longer look. There's no comments on YouTube anymore. It has made the world a better place in my mind.
You mean you don't like to see what so?
No, I don't fucking like seeing those disgusting comments below. Because there's some people that are like legitimate, like, oh, this is great, and then there's like people that can't fucking type. I don't know how the fuck they go through life not being able to. You know, bad grammar in a text drives me nuts.
I always got to leave it on, so I'm reminded of the filth.
Then there's fucking trolls. Just
Yeah.
Why?
That's true,
Why
yeah.
did you click on this video just to bitch?
I've done that once, and it was with the
No,
disturbed
you
sound
are
of
a troll,
silence.
and it drives
I'm
me
not.
nuts. Schweitzer.
I'm not a troll. You're the troll, Joe. You're
I'm
the
the
offensive
troll?
one. Yes.
Yeah, look,
because
you're
you know
trolling
what?
right now.
I don't have to force my opinion on other people all the time. I only do it rarely. You do it all the fucking time. So that's where you're the troll.
I'm the troll.
I just got pissed at someone comparing abortion to gun banning, which is stupid, and I got blocked. But I don't care. But I'm not a troll because I rarely engage. I rarely post anything on Facebook. But when I do, it's usually
It's usually a troll comment.
it can be, yeah. It's not trollish. You know what? You know what I'll say right now. Sometimes it does help to have differing opinions. I know Facebook isn't the best place to do it, but you know what?
I am 100% sure there's never been an opinion changed via
A YouTube video.
reply,
A YouTube video
a
changed to an
text
opinion
reply
for me.
on a
I just
video.
love like how these people get real passionate about their topics where they go, no, see, you're missing the fucking point here, and then person below them goes, see, no, you're retarded because, and the next person down, dudes, you all are missing the fucking point, and it just keeps going on and on.
No one
and
has ever. I think people have changed opinions in a debate. Sure, I have changed opinion. I change my opinion all the goddamn time from that or from hearing like different sides on things or presentations or whatever. I've never fucking changed my opinion based upon some asshole on the internet being like, nah.
Well, I wasn't being an asshole. I was just saying something. And
No, but it doesn't matter how you think you're typing, Schweiss.
that's true. They're going to take it in the
It's
worst
going
way.
to be taken in the worst.
And that's why text is such a hard way to do it.
I
but-
remember one day do you remember what insult I sent you via text message? We were in Snow College. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Did he like freak?
And I called him like a fucking asshole, like fat piece of shit or something. And to me, I sent a sarcastic, haha, dude, text. And it was like, it was taken deadly serious for a second. Do you remember what that was?
I don't.
There are some that can write.
I do remember being like, "What the fuck?"
There are some who can write in a way that it doesn't come off that way, but it is hard to do.
Well, that's why I just got to add emojis, you know?
Written.
Like a smiley face?
No, because then it's just cuntish to me. Then it's like,
really?
I'm a cunt. You know, that's what the emoji says at the end. Like, everything, I meant everything, but it's supposed to be light. You know, yeah.
Yeah,
I hate emojis.
me too.
Yeah. But yeah, I do that occasionally, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how, like, and it's so funny how people will go to
Yeah,
such extremes. And then they'll block you before you can, like, say anything back.
Yep.
The problem is I
real
want
mature.
to get rid of
Real
Facebook
mature.
so bad.
I got rid
No.
of it on my phone. I
Yeah.
only have Messenger.
You can get rid of it.
I got rid of the app.
There's a huge thing going on right now for everyone to delete Facebook because of how they've been treating your personal info.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
No need to get
I mean,
into
we
that.
knew we were into it when we got into this. I mean, like, is anybody surprised?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Really?
The one thing I hate about
Surprised?
Facebook is they wash a lot of things. They ban a lot of pages.
So yeah, they
I
ban a
don't
lot of
think that-
pages, and they kind of
Well, YouTube's doing the
kind
same
of
shit.
cultivate
Well, that's-
their
yeah.
information to, you know, they'll make it so you can't see certain things and prioritize other things.
Google does the same thing, and they got in a lot of trouble for it a while
But
back.
one thing that you guys don't realize what Facebook also does is they have a lot of plugins that are on so many different websites. You know, those websites let you automatically plug in, or they allow you to comment at the bottom with Facebook.
Yeah.
All those sites with those plugins they can basically keep track of what websites you're visiting while not on Facebook. So
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I don't really care. I mean, Google, I'm okay with it because the only reason why
Google
Google
too,
Maps
yeah.
exists is because of the data it takes from your
But
phone.
if you're ever scared what Facebook and Google knows about you, just think about what your ISP knows about you. So
Oh, they know a lot.
your internet
And I
service
don't care.
provider knows
They
the
know
most.
Veracity can know everything they want. Yeah.
just remember, guys, because the internet is not a need, you can turn it off
Yep.
and not be tracked.
Yeah, that's true, Jake. It is mostly like a lot of libertarian pages get
You could
shut
also
down.
rip out the magnetic strip in your $100 bills and wonder why the government is following you through the magnetic strip, and wonder also why no one will ever take your $100 bill.
The one thing you need is to you need to connect your
Feels
ID
like,
to your
gas
battery
station
in your
troubles.
car, so you fry the tracking device in
Yes,
your,
multiple
in your driver's
times.
license
You're like, I can't take that. Like, but why? Because it doesn't have the thing on it.
because it's not real.
It's no longer real once you like invalidate it by ripping off that magnetic
There was a-
strip because
there was
the
a
government is
huge-
following you through it.
There was a really big libertarian page that had like a picture of someone eating a Tide Pod, and it said like, "This is why I can't pay for your health insurance," and like Facebook shut him down because of it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good argument.
It is. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
I agree with it, but it's a good
It's like,
argument.
this is why I can't pay for your insurance. But Facebook is they're like so left leaning. They ban a lot of stuff like that. So I don't like Facebook's practices.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about wanting to delete Facebook.
It's like, hey,
but then I
Facebook,
don't know what we do with
if
our
you
chat.
want to be done with Russian, what is it? Not
The
not
investigation.
involvement, but influence of any kind. Take off ads. That's what it is. It's fucking ads. Everything else is fucking memes that people share.
Yeah.
They're just dumb people. They're gonna just do that.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I have trolled a few people on Facebook, and I like doing that to my family more than anything. Like you know what? I am kind of a big troll, but it's
you're
like
a
joke.
fucking troll. I've been saying that
exactly
for
how
now
it
a
is.
year and a half.
Say it's
I'm
all
a joke.
It's
It
big.
is a
You
joke
took the
though. Like
big
when my
man.
when my vegan cousin posts something about like her veganism, and I like there was something.
Yeah, Schweiss.
You laugh your ass off at those, though. I remember there was one you said you laughed for like 20 minutes because it was like me talking about throwing some bacon on the sizzle, like some sizzling bacon. And you said you laughed forever.
Fires up the grill.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, fires
Can't
up the
remember,
grill.
yeah.
She was talking
It was
about like
something about
how gross hamburger was or something like that, and then I just put like fires up the grill and like asterisk. So but it's a joke usually.
Yeah, it's you being an ass, joking with someone, and that's what a troll
But I am
is.
true. I do truly feel that way.
I
so
know.
like it's and that's just how I operate. It's
Dr.
like,
Roxo is asking, are you a Russian bot, Schweiss?
yes, I am a Russian bot. She also posts anti-vaxxing stuff, and I like to
Oh, no.
I like to sarcastically agree with
My
her.
problem is that there's so much overlap. No one can just go with one. If like the only crazy thing you believed in was the anti-vax thing, if that was it,
You'd be like, okay, you're an
it'd be
idiot.
like you're
but
an
it's fine.
okay
But-
normal person. But
But
it's
if you're
going
dumb
to
enough
be,
to
it's going to be
believe
the
in
JFK
anti-vaxxing-
assassination. It's going to be anti-vax. It's going to be whatever the
Who
fuck.
the fuck are you?
Yeah, it's going to be everything, dude.
We're the only ones who
God!
get that.
Yeah, JFK assassination. And steel beams.
So the
Jet fuel doesn't burn hot enough to melt steel.
Yeah, because one building landing top of another is not. What the fuck?
It does.
No.
It technically doesn't burn hot enough to melt, but there's an
weaken it.
explanation as to what
Anyways, no,
happened.
let's not dive into that. But anyways, if you're dumb enough to believe in one, you're dumb enough to believe in them all. That's just what
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
will say though, the magic bullet theory is pretty horseshit. I don't believe that's what happened either. The ricocheting like 60. No, there's something else to it, but.
I don't know enough to go into.
Dude, if you look
Mostly
at the
because
graph,
when I hear conspiracy theory, I just go, I'm not even gonna fucking.
I like the.
It's just one and done, dude. It's like it's a gateway drug.
I think
you
it's
get into one conspiracy theory,
Yeah.
you're gonna go down the rabbit hole, and you're going to be a crazy.
I think
person.
theories like the Illuminati are interesting and it's a cool concept.
No.
but it's bullshit.
no,
No, I think it is a
cool concept.
I do. I think it's an interesting concept for a story, but I don't think it's real.
The Illuminati
Oh, yeah.
exists in the Marvel universe, and it's basically just a small group of the heroes.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's an interesting
Controlled
theory,
by
but that's
superheroes,
it.
guys.
I don't think
Iron
it's
Man,
interesting to the
Doctor
point where I'll
Strange,
look
The
at
problem
it.
is
Man.
there are people I know who
That
do
actually
believe in that
believe it.
shit, and it makes me so fucking mad.
No need to get mad, but you can tease them a little bit.
'Cause
Like get
all
real into it.
I don't want to. I don't want them to fucking breed, Crank Cameron. We don't have enough crazy people in the fucking states. I don't want them to fucking breed.
That is kind of true, though. My
You also
cousin,
know who didn't want people to breed?
who is also a vegetarian.
he did the crazy. He went crazy all over. Yeah, no, my cousin is agnostic now, though, so I think that's what happened. She wasn't a vegan when she went to church. So God, maybe I'm like pro-religion now. Just get your craziness out with the belief in the big man.
Yeah. Pick. You can have one. Just have one. And you know what? I mean, I got a lot of shit on this for Twitter. I think religion is the least crazy one.
Your pet conspiracy
because
theory.
it's so wide and it's based in so much history of humankind and storytelling and all this other shit that's just been handed out. It's the least crazy to belief. I think is to believe in a religion. I think it's
that's because it can't be
any
disproven.
religion, though.
It can't really
not
be
any religion.
It's because it can't be disproven in quite the same ways as like anti-vaxxing. Like we have science, and the funny thing is like my cousin is like the most liberal person in the world. So like she's all about like science and like studies and research, but I'm like, why do you think vaccines cause autism then? Are you fucking stupid? Like, you love science to the point where you're always like, oh, God, it's ridiculous because of this. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. But you know what? Fucking so is not vaccinating your kids, you dumb fuck. Because you know what happened? We got rid of all these diseases. And you know why they're coming back? Because people aren't vaccinating, because people are idiots. They'll believe anything. There are people out there that think the earth is flat in 2018. What the fuck? What the fuck? How could you possibly think that?
I honestly am convinced that it's just a huge troll movement.
It has to be a joke.
Because
If it's not, then they need to be euthanized.
I think it started as a troll movement, and then the really fucking crazy people
It's just
are like jumping on the
jumping
bandwagon.
on it, man.
I just don't understand it.
No.
Dude,
So
I saw a post that was like on Facebook or something, and it was like the Flat Earth Society has members all
come
around
on.
the globe.
That's a forced one. That's a forced funny thing. I think that's fake. But I did watch a little bit of a flat Earth YouTube video of a guy proving the Earth is flat. He brings a fucking level up in a plane with him,
Cameron.
and he holds it up against the horizon, saying, "See, look, it's level.
It's flat." They're like, oh,
Oh my god!
the bubble knows all. You fucking asshole.
Oh,
you know
man,
what? Also,
I
is
just remembered that.
you could put it on a flat table and say, "Earth must be flat because this table's flat." Fucking logical fallacy 101.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
yeah.
That's why it's hard. And you know what? It almost makes it worse for those of us who are skeptics, because those people are so prevalent and so like front line where like I don't want to listen to anything that's like anything along that, because I'm like, no, that's bullshit.
Just remember what I said. Soft spoken by day, Schweiss. Soft spoken by day. Just hold your beliefs to yourself until you can be anonymous.
No. That's crazy. That's craziness. I'm fine with people knowing my opinion, and I think it's good to have people in your life that are differing from you.
No, but you can have your own theories, but you keep them to yourself.
Those
so
people
don't
don't think that way, and that's why Facebook is so hard for me. It's because people want to have their own little bubble where only they and their little friends exist in this little bubble. And when the scary wolf comes out with the blue pill, or no, with the red pill to their sad fucking blue pill with their fake existence, they get all scared and they ban them, and then they all huddle together and like stay warm in their little
safe space.
their little fucking bubble.
Facebook is a safe space.
I fucking hate it.
It's safe book right now.
I hate it, and the only reason why I like it is for fucking Messenger, because texting is old school, and I don't have my little cactus emoji.
I like the group messaging in Facebook.
Yes.
That's
That
the one thing
is
that we can't. That's easy to keep connected with
Yeah.
everyone. We would have to find a different messaging
I do like
service.
keeping all the pictures in the same place too.
Yeah.
But I guess there's other ways to handle that. But I just haven't done it. It's too lazy to do that now, huh?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly.
though,
Echo chamber. That's what I'm talking about, Rock. So I
chamber.
think that's what happens to these people.
But-
They become so disassociated with reality that they're like, Hillary Clinton lost? It's like, yeah, she's awful. She's a robot. Of course she lost. Like the rest of the world could see it, because we don't live in this fucking bubble where we only let in things that we want to hear. It's the Metallica line. It's knowing only what you've heard and hearing only what you
Hearing
wanna
only what
hear.
you want to hear.
and knowing only
Knowing
what you've
only what
heard.
you've
That's what it is. It's fucking stupidity. And that's the reason why we have the fucking orange
I
man.
have sat through the 30-minute Illuminati video. And went, so I did listen to it, and then I went, "This is the fucking stupidest
dumb, yeah.
fucking thing I've ever heard of." Because what it takes out is it's any sort of humanity. And super government theories were like they like the big capital word they. It's not like 12 dudes. 12 dudes can do a conspiracy. Not fucking thousands of people that work at the government are doing a conspiracy.
That's just not gonna
because
happen.
They can't even pay their bills.
There's always going to be
the
someone
government
that talks.
is the worst run institution on the fucking planet, and you think that they're keeping all this shit secret? Honestly, come on. There's going to be a leak. We've had leaks.
WikiLeaks is a big deal, and if we can get that info, we can get anything.
Leaks and the things that they leak out are also like, oh, that's not really that surprising.
Yeah.
Like it's because it's like you're thinking, okay, humanity, humans don't keep secrets very well in large groups. You think the shit's not gonna get. I mean, come on. Yeah. Human nature is what that phrase. Like they take out all human nature from whatever fucking theory they have, especially the Illuminati one. That one drives me fucking nuts. Or like a giant, or like the tracking air. Oh, God damn, guys, I can't even.
Oh, are you talking about chemtrails?
Chemtrails,
yeah.
Fucking chemtrails. Oh my God, the people up in the plane, the people making the chemicals. Come on.
Do you even know what chemicals do? Like, come on. Yeah.
Fuck.
No, it's bad. And that's what makes it so hard for me is like some of these people, like I can agree with them on like all sorts of stuff. Like, yeah, like this is happening. It's real. We have data. But then they're like, here's this dataless thing. Like, bam, it's true. Look at the research, Caleb. Just look at the research.
No. And then anytime it's you like have a founded argument, they're like, but you got to do it for yourself. You got to do your own research and find out.
What? Looking up online other people's research? Like, what do I have a laboratory? Like, I can't do my own research. You dumb fuck. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And
also, if chemtrails were working and they were actually mind controlling you, then you wouldn't be having the idea of chemtrails.
That it was happening, unless you were immune.
Unless
That's why you wear the tinfoil hat
when you're surfing the web for porn.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless the
that
government
way they can't read your mind.
allows certain secrets to get out just to make crazy people seem crazy, so you don't believe them. Did you ever think about that? No, you didn't, because you're small-minded.
Yeah, no, and that's what I get. Oh, yeah, at work, I was cornered one time because I didn't believe in UFOs. They're like, if you want to live under a rock, Caleb, you're more than welcome to. I'm like, am I the only person in this fucking room right now that's sane? Yes! And the guy that does the fucking the Game of Thrones podcast was playing along with it, and for a while I was like, "Are you fucking high?" And like he was totally fucking trolling me, but it was seriously like everyone around me was like, "Oh yeah, like yeah, you crop circles were in Kansas." I'm like, "Yeah, all that's bullshit." She's like, "No." And then the one lady's like, "If you want to live under a rock, Caleb, you can." I'm like, under a rock? Like what the fuck is this? Like I'm the minority suddenly? Like the man who doesn't believe in aliens coming to the fucking earth? Like
you're towing the line, Schweiss. Don't want anyone going postal on you.
Yeah, or I would have shut him down. Like he's going crazy. Yeah, it's fucking sick.
I can't believe
obviously aliens built Egypt. I mean,
I
clearly.
Fucking Craig, I'm gonna kill you. I posted on Facebook or on Twitter. I was like, because I've been on OkCupid, so I've been like talking to girls and rejecting people. Mostly, that's all I've been doing is just rejecting.
Sorry, I just
people.
had to laugh at you for.
Yeah, shut up, Cameron. It's better. It's way better than Tinder. I'll tell you that.
Okay,
Grindr would be your best.
I got a
bet.
much better.
Grindr, you probably get a few hits.
I get a better follow through with OkCupid. That's.
I say go Grindr just as a joke. And see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens.
Let me see.
I could get a lot of butt sex right now if I want it.
If I want it. Not that I do.
It's that line. It's have every reason to do it, but don't. You have true power, right?
I was surprised when I put out. I could not. There's a question on OkCupid's Dealio where it's like, do you believe in horoscopes and our astrological side's important to you? There was a girl I was looking at. I was like, and this happened like twice now. I'm looking through the questions at the answer. And then I'm like, and I put myself as agnostic, and I would like to be with someone who's agnostic, not someone who's like fucking full atheist. And maybe I would probably date like a Christian who would be okay with dating a guy who's agnostic. I'd be okay with that. I look at the fucking horoscope thing and I'm like, I don't give a shit. What else was put on here? You could be perfect. This horoscope belief thing, that is insane to me. And I put it on Twitter and everybody's like, well, it seems harmless and yada yada yada. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Am I the crazy person for being like, that thinking horoscopes are bullshit. Like, I thought horoscopes and leprechauns were in the same fucking category when I was a kid, guys. They're both bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, they're bullshit. I think they're very general, so it's easy to be like, oh, yeah, that applies. But then you look at every other month and you're like, oh, wait, so does that? They all apply. Because they're all extremely general to the point of application being easy.
Yep.
It's not about it being harmless. It's about it being fucking stupid. God damn it.
They are
Fuck.
technically harmless, though. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're like, oh, religions cause war. And then I had to be like, religion...
I was like, honestly, religion is the biggest...
People have always caused war and have used religion as an excuse, but religion has never caused war, because then you're actually... Then the religion would have to be true. The religion would have to be true in order for the religion to cause war.
I can't give it that.
So I can't give it that much power. I would say people cause war, use religion
As an
war,
excuse.
As an excuse.
People just want to kill people.
Religious beliefs.
It's all about land.
And
honestly,
there's plenty of
want to take
wars
land.
without religion, including World War I and World War II.
also,
Not religious.
The
people.
biggest wars literally ever.
The biggest
biggest-
wars of all time
the biggest,
were not
uh,
caused by religion.
the biggest catalyst for scientific exploration was also religion.
Yeah.
It
So I'm
was,
not-
why is this not answered? And then we search.
I'm also like...
So I think it's fine.
I got real deep into Joseph Campbell like a year and a half ago, and so like the whole idea of like, oh, these things are kind of important for humankind to have some sort of cultural belief system or whatever. Like I sort of got that, and to me, dogma is bullshit. Like whenever religious dogma happens, right? But actual like religion or spiritual beliefs, I'm fine with that. The fucking horoscopes thing is in another category though. That's the fucking stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I believe in the stars.
Believing in astrology? Astrology? God damn it.
Yeah,
I
that's crazy.
like to kill small animals and toss their bones into a bowl.
I do want it to be
future.
clear. I don't believe in any of it. So, God damn it.
Yeah.
Bone reading is real though.
Fucking Craig, I'm going to murder you.
What about tea leaves?
Yeah, tea leaves too.
Tarot cards.
Tarot cards. Yep.
I called that hotline.
You did?
No, I didn't.
Anyways, do we have a question? Do we have a?
We didn't.
Have you been playing anything, Craig?
No, yeah, we are so fucking
Yeah, we were right at the beginning still.
Oh god damn!
I played
Fucking horoscopes, dude. I can't believe people fucking believe in that. I can't believe that.
Man, people think they're
Like a week and a half ago, I had a similar thing with my writing group where they were like, yeah, there might be some basis in it. I'm like, what? Of course, at least those people are humans and have a sense of humor about it. We're like, yeah, I'm seeing Joe squirm over there, yada, yada. It's like, I can't.
Well, yeah, that's...
They're all women, too. I can't. I've never met a man who believed in horoscopes. I might kill him. I might actually kill him. Just to be like,
I played Overwatch and some Fortnite, and then I started playing Star Ocean till the end of time.
Why?
Because I had
Is it shitty? It looks really shitty.
wait, you're never going to stop playing it.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a fucking long one, apparently.
Thought those were the jokes you hated, Cameron.
They are.
That one makes more sense. It's a good one.
It just wasn't a stupid play on words.
The voice acting
To me, it was
is
the same quality
rough
play on
twice.
words before.
It's rough.
I heard the soundtrack is trash in that, too.
I haven't really noticed the soundtrack. The voicing has been bothering me.
I did hear turn the sound off and play the game one time years and years ago, so that's probably why.
Well, there was an option to like just have it on like subtitles, and like no voice acting. But I was like, you know what? I'll put on voice acting, and it is bad. It is so bad. Like they take incorrect pauses, and it's just it is awful.
It's kind of like this show.
Yeah, it's like this show.
Just awful.
Just awful incorrect pauses everywhere.
Yeah, they have to wade through political bullshit before they get to why they're really listening.
My problem is my vocabulary goes down to like 20 when I get in this room. It just disappears.
Yeah, sure, Joe, sure.
Yeah.
It's extensive elsewhere.
When I'm talking to myself in my car,
Oh, okay. I was like,
I am the most eloquent man on the fucking planet.
I'm thinking about you and like your groups, and I'm like, even with the film guys, I doubt it gets much more than here. Like less F-bombs, but they talk about how deep the movie. What is that movie that we both hate?
The Fountain?
How deep the fountain is, and I'm like,
No, The Fountain's
Turned
about
off.
as deep as
it's about as deep as
about
Craig's
as deep
dick
as
in
the
my
kitchen
ass, which
sink.
is not deep at all, because that's not there. Yeah,
In fact, it's
awful.
so on the nose. That's what it really is. Like,
Yeah, it's just like in your face.
hey, guess what this is about?
Yeah, it's stupid. So I can't imagine it gets
Yeah.
great there either. So
Whatever.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yep.
That's all
That's
you've been
it.
playing?
Till the end of time, man.
All
It's
right.
It's never going to stop.
This
It's
past
never gonna
week,
stop.
I played Fortnite a bunch. I played Overwatch
Fortnite de Blanc.
a bunch. Then I played shit. I didn't play Witcher at all.
Okay.
Oh, I did play.
I'll tell you
I
what
did
games
play.
I didn't play either.
I did. I was trying to.
There's a massive
Let me
list.
tell you.
I did
This will
play
take a while.
No Man's Sky for like an hour.
You downloaded all the updates for that?
It's been downloaded, been constantly updating.
Oh.
Yeah. So No Man's Sky for an hour. My opinion so far hasn't changed. And then yes, I played a little bit of Monster Hunter World just to get prepared for today, just to refresh things.
I
in
did
my
play
mind.
some of that too.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Is that it?
that's yeah.
All right.
That's
Well,
it.
now we know what everyone's been playing, but has anyone beaten anyone this week?
I beat Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2 or A2. Pretty good game.
Yeah, better than the last fucking game. Better than that Digimon that Craig forces to play, but refuses to play Tactics Advance or Advance 2.
Yeah, it is a way better game than that. I'll give
You
that.
guys love Digimon.
No, dude.
There's just so
You
much
did,
more to the
though.
digital world
I-
left for us to play.
I know,
Every
there's
other
so
game
much.
on my beaten list this year is way better than Digimon. I'll give you that. Yeah.
I don't know if I could say way better for... No, it's still quite a bit better.
You've just digi-dipped your toes, man. There's just so much more left for us to
Digi
play.
dipping.
God of War Ascension was rough, but it was still, definitely better than Hacker's Memory.
Craig?
Did you beat the game, Craig?
Nope.
I did not either.
I beat Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2, or A2, since the A is not Advance. Even though I know
Advanced
it's
dose.
Advance. Because I'm not fucking stupid.
I always wonder if Shinra can handle the amount of verbal abuse we give him on the Ultima show.
He can.
I guess he's still with us at this
He
point.
is kind of a nice guy, though. Like on
Yeah.
Overwatch, he's pretty chill, So maybe it hurts him. I don't know.
We
He
don't
just
mean
doesn't
it.
tell you.
We don't mean it. Mostly.
Oh.
Okay.
It does stand for Advance, but we don't mean it.
The oh shit. I'm so sorry. Oh fuck. No.
You're gonna have to buy some whiteout.
No.
Caleb, you have to beat
Dun,
Final Fantasy
dun,
Tactics Advance 2.
Craig, I wrote in pen on your column FF Tactics A2.
Take the game with you and beat it by next week.
You have to
before
beat
you
it
Man, I
now.
thought I could do it.
You should see the
You
should see
should.
the
That would
eye
actually be
twitch that
pretty
was
awesome.
going on. Dude, he had a massive eye twitch at that. You should have seen it.
I'll do it.
I'll put a star next to it just in case.
Or just get some whiteout tape or something.
Who has whiteout now? You got a fucking
You gotta get one
you
of
got a
those
typewriter
whiteout
on you,
pens.
Cameron?
Apparently you need some whiteout, so I don't know. Don't be knocking it.
I don't know what that means.
Because you just fucking messed up, Joe. You need to hide your mistakes.
I hide my mistakes all the time.
Sweeps them under the rug.
Sweep them right under the rug. Okay. Well, the hog is as follows, although it says differently on this list. We all know that Caleb Schweiss is number one with 7 games beaten so far this year. Caleb Craig is at 6 games. Well, they promised 7th game. Second place.
Guaranteed.
Cameron and I are both tied for 3rd place with 5 games beaten this so far this year. I guess make sure your hog is all updated by, is it next week or the week after?
Should be next week.
Should be next week. Okay.
Yeah, next
well,
week,
either
next
way, guys, keep up on your Hogib. I got some books listened to this week, and it still didn't put me very much higher than what I was before because other people are still fucking going.
Yeah, really, games are the new meta. Just find short games because we don't make any change in the points, whether it's a 2-hour game or a AAA title.
true.
So
Well, the problem is then someone's going to be like, well, this game doesn't track airtime. We'll have that question. Just remember that. So you got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, the top games beaten right now, it's Black Mage Justin with 38 and Jake with 36. So
Jesus Christ,
Only-
we're 3 months in.
only 3 people in the 30s.
That's 10 games a month. More than 10 games a month.
Only 3 people in the 30s and 2 people in the 20s.
Oh, so there's like 5
So you
people
go.
going for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're either going or you're not.
yeah, that's a real trend actually. Are you fucking going for it? Or are you just beating the game here and there?
I want to see Movie Hog. I want to see a whole bunch of different hogs. There you go. There's your next assignment there, Craig. Or Cameron.
well,
I'm
at the,
getting
at the
Could
end
do
of the,
something like that. Have like monthly challenges.
I wouldn't have trophies. I just want to see what all the ranks are of each media cacategory.
Well, we could.
Well,
do,
that's what we do at the end of every month. Matunik has been giving us a download
that's right.
of all the different things.
Yeah, but I want to see
People.
if I have watched the most movies so far.
He wants to
Oh.
win something, is what he wants.
Yes.
Maybe I can ask the crowd to see if we can do top of each category.
Yeah, top 3
Yeah.
leaders of...
It could be on a different page too. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be on the
Yeah,
same
you should ask him
leaderboard.
for that. Let's give
I
him
will.
more work to do. Let's do it.
No, this
I
idea.
thought of something yesterday and I
Ho-
fucking forgot.
Hogib has definitely evolved, and they're going full bore on it now, guys. So
Okay, awesome.
they've taken ownership of the idea. Let's just say that.
Yeah, thank you guys for working on that. It's amazing. Amazing work what you guys are doing. Craig, what's our question?
All right, so our question is regrets from Mr. Biscuit. He says, I once spent $150 on alpha access to a free-to-play game, Arcade. My question to you guys, is there any video game purchases you've made that you regret to this
Oh
day?
yeah, I commented on this thread.
Overwatch.
Yes, definitely for you. Overwatch would be. A
I
game.
regret purchasing Overwatch. It was a weak moment, and I don't play it, so regret.
why don't you
Battlefield
play
1
it?
is Battlefield 1 is a better
You know,
game.
I feel like you would enjoy Overwatch if you had the time to invest in it. Just how how you found out you enjoyed Fortnite. I mean, you don't love Fortnite, but you enjoy it.
I love the idea of Fortnite, but the actual game I do not love. No,
There you go. But you still play.
I probably would like PUBG more,
I think I would too, but
but I don't have that option.
I
I
need
mean,
a
I do,
computer.
but you guys don't, so I don't.
I mean, you and Joe could play it.
Yeah, I don't think Joe wants to play any game like this ever again. And PUBG is the same thing.
Well, the whole clan needs to hop on.
We do.
Fortnite once at least and stream it.
And
The
I think-
worst of us should stream it.
I think we will, but we need to get Joe to play it again.
Yeah.
These guys are somewhat better than me.
my opinion
much
on-
better at the strategy part. So
My opinion on Fortnite.
You don't have one yet, Joe. You got to play it.
Cameron, I don't like that there's no way to get better at the game except for playing it for hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours, because the amount of time it takes for you
Yeah.
to have like a second run at it is just too long.
See, you guys are
I
playing
don't
it
like
the safe style.
the instant.
You're playing
death
it.
thing.
You're playing it where you're dropping way the hell out there, and you're finding some loot, but
We're
you
still
don't know how to
getting
use it
killed,
yet,
though.
and you're still getting
early
killed.
'cause we're dropping
You're
out
spending
there
20 minutes
with other people.
until you actually meet someone. You got to play it where you drop in the hotbed of activity, because that's the way where you can get killed real fast, but then jump back in real fast until your reflexes improve, until your building improves. So I say tilt the towers until you're better.
I wish there was a game mode that was just like
Trial by
normal
fire
save.
game?
Trial by fire. This is the only way you're going to learn. Only way you're going to learn. And he kicks him out of the nest.
I guess. I think we should play it.
Yeah, I'd rather play whatever the new Call of Duty is.
And then you'll have
Frankly.
moments like mine with Schweiss watching, where the guy breaks down the wall and I just have a pump shotgun in his face. Surprise, motherfucker!
I laughed for that. Cameron's saying that for like 10 minutes because he breaks down the wall and he's just his face shot.
That was a good round too. I got second place that round without Schweiss, but yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
died kind of early. I think we need to just get used to it. I think it's a fun squad game, and I think we all could work well together.
Yeah.
We just need to play it.
Yep.
Gaming regrets. I've bought the PC version of FF11 online, and then later when we did the podcast, found out you can just buy the whole damn thing for $10 to $20 depending on the month on Amazon, and get every single expansion, and that physical copy, with the exception of it just kind of being in my FF collection, just in a row. With that exception, total waste of money.
Oh, I also regret Dissidia NT because I played the tutorials, and that game is kind of garbage.
Only kinda.
It's not. I don't think it's fun at all.
It's
Caleb.
not.
I don't
It's
think it's
not.
fun at all. It's just there's too much going on, and it's too wide open. They
The
should have just
fact
made a
that it's-
fighting game.
The fact that it's 3v3 and it has to be 3v3 all the time is stupid. It is stupid.
I don't like it, and that's not a good sign because I want to platinum all of them, but I don't like that game.
Good luck with that one.
I heard it's at least 100 hours.
For my regrets, any game that I bought twice.
I've played some. Okay, what have you bought me? What have you bought me over the
Guild
years?
Wars, or whatever it's called.
No, I
I-
made him buy Guild Wars,
He made me buy Guild
Oh,
Wars.
okay.
and then I stopped playing it.
I do actually enjoy Guild Wars despite not being able to play it. So
it's
that
fun,
one's,
yeah, it's great.
It's not much
Guild
regret.
Wars 2 is solid.
But I bought him Demon Souls when I wanted to play that on PS3.
I don't even know where that's at, but yeah,
and I bought Skyrim with all the DLCs.
haven't touched it.
And,
I have it installed, I think.
and Final Fantasy 14 for the PC.
I played it.
You played
for
it
a
on
day.
PS4
I played it for a day on the PC.
and a few other games I can't remember,
Okay.
but I know it's happened.
Okay,
We should nominate some of those games. Get some votes on them.
Skyrim lost. It's out.
We can nominate it again.
Well, he needs to play Skyrim anyway because I bought
it's
it
a
for
great
him.
one. And then I wouldn't mind playing it too because I'm halfway through playing it and using
and
a
I
different
bought
playstyle.
Cam fucking Final Fantasy 15.
I
which
have it
still has
you
not
downloaded.
didn't
played.
actually buy that for him. You had an extra copy. 'Cause
I
you got impatient.
It's still, you know what? I still paid for it. So
It's true. That
Yeah.
one bugs the shit out of me.
Hey, I played it a little bit. It's still there, ready to go.
Okay, well,
play it.
we'll see how many
Fucker.
times I can put it on the vote till it's taken. By the way, Catherine won. Is that correct?
We
Yes.
should probably check that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I'll double
probably.
check. But Catherine, I think,
Catherine.
is.
Had a fucking massive lead.
Oh yeah, Catherine killed.
What is the fucking random love for this anime garbage?
That's
Puzzle game.
You've
Catherine?
just
Everybody
said
likes
it all.
Catherine, dude.
Well, I know, but like what did it like? It's,
Everybody likes
it's
it.
Generally, been RPGs, especially with Joe and Schweitz like being like, "No more RPGs, no more," and then they obviously it seems like they would.
Now,
want
see,
to.
when I say it, they take it to heart. When Joe says it, they don't. So
Okay.
Joe, they make play the RPG.
My biggest video game regret is No Man's Sky up to this point. They promised
I regret spending $200
They promised the
on it.
universe.
They promised the world.
No. They promised the
They
universe.
did, yeah, they did promise the
He
universe.
gave me the world.
and then give me poorly.
Well, they gave you the
auto-generated
universe.
planets.
They did give you the universe. Quit stepping on my cord.
Keep your cord out of here. Where's our cord caddy?
Everything's fucked
It's
up
down
now. I gotta deal with it later.
It's
Don't
down
mess
there.
with it. Don't mess with
I'm
it.
just
now. Just don't.
I'm taking his slack away, so I stop hitting it with my foot.
Okay.
There we go.
They do have big, intrusive feet. We'll say that about you, Cameron. Your
I
feet,
do
your
have
feet
large
wander. Your feet wander.
I do have large feet.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what they say about large feet?
Big
Large
ego.
shoes.
It's hard to find shoes on the discount rack.
That's what they say.
That's the exact phrase.
Yep. That's right. God, there's so many things like, ooh, did you know your penis size is the size of the
That's-
tip of your thumb and your middle finger and like a
That's a lie.
whole bunch of stuff like that.
Really, it's just the length of your nose.
I'm pretty sure that's longer than my dick, but I haven't tried, so I don't know.
You know, another thing is when your ring finger's longer than your index finger, that's when you know.
Yeah,
what you know.
I'm sure. Yeah.
No, I thought that was the opposite. I thought it
No,
was,
it's the ring finger longer than an index finger.
Wait, which one's?
Like-
Oh, ring finger longer than index. Yeah, you're right. That is the one. Ha
Means nothing, Schweiss.
That's true. Craig's is that way too. We've all seen Craig's dick. So.
How?
We can see
I
it
mean,
much
it's real
easier
hard,
than you
but
can.
you gotta have special tools. But
As hard as it is to see, it's easier for us to see it than it is
Guys,
for you to see
okay.
it.
All right. I gotta tell you a story real quick. Okay, so I had the weirdest fucking experience in the urinal the other day.
Oh, no.
So this old guy, like mid-60s, right, comes in, and he fucking pulls his pants all the way down.
What? And butters?
peanut butters, and he lays his cock on the fucking like rim of the urinal. And he crouches to do this, by the way. And then he like looks over at me and he's like, and then he like gestures to his dick and he's like, damn thing doesn't work the same way it used to. And I was like, well, at least you know where it's at, right?
Did he laugh at that?
He laughed, but
he wasn't like a mentally challenged person, dude. Okay, because I've seen that happen with like
it's just a really weird thing.
Wow, I would never put my dick on the urinal.
And then like gesture like, hey, look at my dick. Hey, it doesn't work very well. You should have been like, yeah, it's probably because you leave it on the bowl. Like, I'm surprised it's still attached.
Probably infected.
Oh God,
that is like a fear. Your genitals touching the bowl like
hey,
that.
Craig, I never want that
fear.
experience.
I'll tell you, I didn't want it either.
Did you at least like look when he gestured? You're like,
I mean, you have a different urinal experience.
you're
don't
like,
you,
yeah,
Joe?
I'll check it out.
It was really weird.
That's great, dude.
God.
That's good.
It's a Monster Hunter World, guys.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Let's get into it.
Let's dive. Embark on a journey
The new world.
Amazing, ain't it?
with cephalopods that fly to an uncharted land. That fights back. Monster Hunter World. Available now.
Oh, that's a great trailer. You can stop that autoplay.
Nope.
All right. Monster Hunter World is the latest installment in the Monster Hunter franchise, developed by and published by Capcom. It is an action role-playing game, but before I talk about Monster Hunter World itself, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Monster Hunter series. So, Monster Hunter series is been basically the majority of their fan base is Japan-based, and although it's been critically acclaimed here in the Western side of things, it's never done well sales-wise, just because the level of bullshit and skill to get good at these games is a little too high for Western audiences.
That's bullshit. Here's how we know. There was fucking Final Fantasy 15 survey that happened when the demo came out, and the North American players in general thought that the game was too easy, and the Japanese players thought that the game was too hard.
I think that the difference is that we don't have 7,000 hours to spend on a train, and they do. That's why they can grind.
Actually,
So
he makes a point because the Monster Hunter series went to handheld at a certain stage.
Oh, hey, that is a point.
I think that's the reason why.
So, generally speaking, the games are primarily action role-playing games where the player takes the role of a hunter, and their whole object of the game is to slay various large monsters. And by the way, people, Joe's taking a pee break right now. Just I thought everyone should know.
I'm going to take a shit, too. Thanks for telling everyone.
Just here looking out for you, Joe. Just didn't want them to know where you left. Takes the role of a hunter, slaying large and trapping large monsters across various landscapes. As a part of the main object of the game, after you slay monsters, you then you skin them, you take parts of them, and you use those parts to get better gears for your weapons, for your armor, and whatnot. And this game has a trope to where, and especially in the early ones, where you have to learn the patterns of the monsters. You have to. In this game, Monster Hunter World, they made huge changes to kind of how in depth you have to get. But beforehand, it was all up to you. You had to learn what they were weak to. You had to study their move set, and healing and just basically managing inventory was really hard up until this newest installment.
Yeah, there's a reason that Western players only can compare this game to Dark Souls.
Yeah, so I don't think the current Monster Hunter World is comparable to Dark Souls just because of certain changes they made, and I'll get into that.
They still do.
But it's still pretty
I've heard
hard.
it compared
It's still
to
pretty
Dark
difficult,
Souls.
but I don't think as difficult as Dark Souls, and I'll get into that later. But the first Monster Hunter. I clicked on the PSP button. Sorry, guys. Was released in 2004 in Japan. It was released on the PlayStation 2. Followed up with enhanced versions of the game called Monster Hunter G and Monster Hunter Freedom. And the Monster Hunter G was released on the PlayStation 4. Monster Hunter Freedom was released on the PSP, and Wii version was released later, but only in Japan. Now, Monster Hunter 2 came out 2006, and subsequent titles released are Monster Hunter Freedom 2 from PlayStation Portable, and that's just an enhanced version of Monster Hunter 2. And then an expansion of the enhanced version was released for the PSP and iOS titled Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. And this is actually where Craig and I got into the series. And I say got in the series loosely because we basically played a little bit of it. We never beat it, and that was really the only Monster Hunter we ever played up to that point. But it was, a fond memory that we shared.
I borrowed that
great.
game and played about 20 minutes of it.
I enjoyed it.
I did not.
It was fun.
It had networking capabilities where if you and a friend were connected to the same Wi-Fi thing, you could hunt together. But it had difficulty representing the monster in the same location for both of you.
So I would basically kill something, and then Cam would see some bee thing right next to him just explode.
Yeah, so you would be fighting the same monsters, but they'd be different locations for both of you. And then Craig would be going for a final hit on something and just to see it disappear because I would have killed it.
Yeah, and then I couldn't carve it because he stole the kill from me and it was in front of him.
Oh, man. Then Monster Hunter Tri, that's Tri, Monster Hunter Tri, was released on the Wii in 2009. Subsequent enhanced versions for the PSP, PlayStation 3 was released later. Oh, thank you for the subscribe.
Yeah, thanks for doing.
I like that Mario theme during our Monster Hunter
That's right.
review.
Miss the old
Get your own
Digimon.
Yeah. Joe does too.
Then Monster Hunter 4 was released in 2013, and this is so you've seen a trend of all these Monster Hunters having enhanced versions on handhelds. They made a switch to 3DS, I think, around 2010, and then Monster Hunter 4 was released for the Nintendo 3DS. It was released in North America and Europe as Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, and then Monster Hunter Generations released November 28th, 2015. This was released on,
I think that one's kind of like a
3DS.
little RPG.
yeah, so this was released on 3DS as well.
Monster Gathering one.
And then for Monster Hunter World, they have Capcom games. Caleb was telling me how Capcom games are kind of niche games. A lot of people know about them. Not very many people play them, outside where they're really popular. Monster Hunter World was Capcom's real try to get this game to hit the mainstream. And actually, it was a success for Capcom. It is their most sold game so far.
Yeah, it has 7.5 million copies.
7.5 million copies sold, and this makes it their most successful game so far.
Wait, which one?
Monster Hunter World.
And it's only been out for almost 3 months.
More popular than Resident Evil?
Yep.
That's bullshit.
Yep.
It is. It's
And
the most
it's-
sold Capcom game ever.
Because remember these
Including
Monster Hunter
any
games
of
have
the
been
Resident
critically
Evils.
acclaimed, but just not as accessible for Western audiences. And they had a big break from being portable handheld games in the years previous to actually making it to mainstream
I was
consoles,
excited when I saw
PlayStation
the
4
trailer,
and
I think
Xbox
a lot
One.
of people were too.
Also, a Microsoft Windows version is going to be released. So that's a little bit about just the Monster Hunter series as a whole. And now getting into the development of Monster Hunter World, in the quest to making it more acceptable to Western audiences and making the game more streamlined, they wanted to have worlds where you didn't have loading screens in between the different sections of certain maps. Now, we said that the games previous were Dark Souls-esque in how difficult they were. And in those games, you couldn't do things like taking healing items and stuff like that while moving. You had to sit still while you're doing that. So one thing they would use would be using loading screens to go into a different area of the map, heal up, and then come back and fight the monster. Now, there's no loading screens in once you load into a world. There are no more loading screens in between areas when you're hunting a monster. So they made it small adjustments by making it so you can take healing items. And in my opinion, there's so many healing items you could take all the time that is what sets it apart from Dark Souls and difficulty for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of healing.
Dark Souls, not much healing. You got to really grind out for those healing items, but here you can just a large part of the game is where you're as you're hunting monsters, you're collecting resources, you're growing resources to then turn into supplies. And oh my god, you can make so many different kinds of supplies to help give you buffs, to attack, to help you. That's more of gameplay, but we'll get into it in a little bit. But since that was an idea of the development, they just had to make certain things like healing easier. Another thing they wanted to do...
They did a lot of stuff in mind to add new players that had never played a Monster
Make
Hunter
it
game
more
before.
accessible.
More accessible to like everybody instead of just those who had already played the game and really into it.
And in addition to making these large maps with no loading times in between the areas of it, they wanted to make these ecosystems feel more alive. They wanted to make it feel like a real place you could go visit with the monsters interacting with each other. And beforehand, the monsters really didn't interact with one another, so they had to develop a more complex artificial intelligence to allow all these different monsters you're fighting to interact with each other and to fight each other, too.
They gave birth to AI.
And they gave birth to AI as we know it. But there's some gameplay aspects of that AI that we'll touch upon in gameplay. So a lot of these monsters that are featured in this game were created for previous titles. Of course, they designed a few more monsters for the Monster Hunter World debut. They made one monster, the Nergigante, more aggressive than he has been in previous styles, but yes. Design-wise, besides just making it more accessible to Western audiences, I don't really have more to add, but that'll allow us to get into story. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay. So story-wise, you are an adventurer who is on the Fifth Fleet making its way to the New World. All the previous Monster Hunter titles have been, I guess, in now what's called the Old World, where you're fighting these monsters and gathering their resources. And now you're making it out to this new, unknown, uncharted land. On your way...
America.
Yeah, kind of had the feeling like that a little bit. On your way to the New World on the Fifth Fleet, you cross paths with a large elder dragon called Zora Magdaros.
A.K.a. Magma Godzilla.
He is a giant volcano dragon that emerges from the depth of the sea, and you actually get your ship stranded on top of its back, and then you make your way down. And you're introduced with this new biome, this new ecosystem, and you get introduced to your colony on the New World. From here, the story kind of goes around, why is Zora Magdaros, moving inland on the New World? So you have to go find out why. And I don't know how spoilery we want to get.
Just spoil the fuck out of it. It's fine.
Spoil the fuck out of it?
There's not much to spoil, so it's okay.
Zora Magdaros is attracted to the energy that is somehow emanating from the center of the island, and he's going to go die there. Well, people don't want Zora Magdaros to die there because the release of energy would be so catastrophic as to erase the New World off the map. So the first part of the game is you trying to deter Zora Magdaros and get him to go away. You don't actually get to kill him. You just push him along.
Yeah, he's going to die anyway,
Yeah.
so you're trying to drive him off from the spot he wants to
And
die
a huge
at.
a huge theme in this is death brings on new life, and so he's going to go off and die somewhere out in the ocean to bring new life there. So that was one theme for it. Then it launches you in the second half of the game while you're trying to investigate what is this new energy source coming from the center of the island. And the second half of the game has you investigate that cause and eventually fight something that's produced by all of that energy. And that's the end of the game.
Yep.
you killed it. But it might be the end of the game. You might have had credits, but the game is not over because there are a ton of crossover events, a ton of DLC monsters coming, and of course, harder monsters.
Yeah, so basically the end is that now you get to stay in the new world and continue your research.
Correct. That's a brief overview of the story. And anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's pretty much the entirety of the story.
All right. For story, what would you give it out of 10?
The story is one of those ones that we constantly encounter where it's a story that serves the gameplay a lot like Doom's. This one especially, where it's like, you need to go kill these new creatures so we can study them, find out what's going on with this new world, that kind of thing. So I'd give it like a 9 for what it is.
9. I'd give it an 8. It just felt like, I don't know. The story there could have been more story. There could have been more about the new world. And it felt like the first half of the game and the second half of the game were just loosely connected by the captain, that one guy. What's that guy's name?
I honestly can't remember.
He was part of the first fleet, crazy hairdo guy. He's the one who brings you into the Elder's Recess.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
So he loosely connects the first half of the game, which kind of feels like an ending, to the second half of the game.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of disconnect there. All right, so now the huge part of Monster Hunter games in general in this game is gameplay.
So this is a much more gameplay-based game than a story.
What'd you give
game.
the story?
I gave it an 8
Okay.
out of 10.
Yep. And the gameplay is the big massive bit. So there's
This is
several
like
different.
online, right?
Yeah, it can
Yeah.
be. I
Yeah.
mean, you can play it by yourself or with other people. And one of the big things is that there's several different weapon types.
There
that
are
you can choose
14 different weapon types, all with their unique play style. Tutorials for each weapons can be had, but they're not very in depth. They just give you kind of, hey, you can do stuff like this, and it leaves it up to you
and
to
it shows
figure
you
out how
kind
you
of a
want to play.
video of like what happens when you do that move. So basically, yeah, it's up to you on how you do certain things, and what weapon you pick determines like a lot of stuff, like your damage output, your defense as well. Like it's not just garnered by your armor. So you have if you have a close range weapon, then you are more defense. You have more defense against physical attacks, and if you have like a longer range weapon, like a bow or a bow gun, something like that, then you have more defense against like long range and elemental attacks.
Yep. So your weapon dictates your play style. So for the majority of the playthrough, had a burp real fast there. I played
By
with.
the way, my shit was quite nice.
Oh, good.
Oh, was it?
Joe's back,
Yeah.
guys.
It was a good color too, right? You didn't,
I didn't
have
look.
any medical problems.
I didn't look. So I could have been bleeding out my anus. I have no idea.
It's just a bunch of bloody.
Does it
mess.
just feel a little more wet than normal, and you just kept wiping, kept coming?
No,
I think we're good.
No,
then.
no, fast cleanup. And
Form.
went pretty smoothly.
Did it stick the
yeah.
landing?
Yeah, I'd say it's Olympic level shit.
He didn't look, so he doesn't actually know.
I didn't look. Yeah, I didn't look at the cluster. You know.
All right, guys. Sorry for the literal shit talk, but
Oh, you fucking started it. I needed them. You know, I needed to have a report.
I played with the bug glaive for most of it, and it's basically a pole arm type weapon with a giant spear, sharp end that you twirl around, and you can do a lot of acrobatics with dodging and stuff like that. So it's a very low defense weapon, but high agility weapon. And you have a bug that you can shoot out at various points of the monster to bring you back certain buffs.
Yeah,
Caleb
and
played with.
I did 2 different weapons. I had a charge blade for the first half of the game, which is a sword and a shield type thing, and then you can charge once you charge up your weapon a little bit, you can transform it into a giant fucking axe by combining the sword and the shield to do a crap load of damage. And so that has a lot of versatility in the way that it plays. And then I also used a lance for the second half of the
Nice.
game. Which lance is basically another tanky type class. You have a big ass shield. You can attack while defending, which is a really great thing that I couldn't do with any of the other sword and shield type
Yep.
weapons. And it has surprising mobility for being such a massive fucking weapon too.
Yep.
Like you can charge, like run really quickly across the map. You can do like huge sidestep type jumps. So you can be really aggressive while being tanky at the same time.
Yep.
So you can basically
That's just
try to be a tank.
more of a defense weapon, more of you're trying to keep the monster attention on you.
Roxo asked if you beat Devil Joe yet.
No. That's a new monster that
Yeah.
they just added for the Devil May Cry crossover. So
Sounds like Final Fantasy. Do they have cup noodles too?
No.
they don't have cup noodles,
Is
but
it
they
completely shameless
did
and destroyed?
a Street Fighter one recently, and I didn't do that one either, unfortunately.
Really, yeah, there's 14 different weapons. We could take a long time describing the different play styles with each weapon. Large hammer is very popular. Large sword's very popular. Katana is very
There's
popular.
a pipe thing.
A hunting horn is very
Yeah,
popular.
the-
It's like a hammer bagpipe where you play buffing songs.
Nice. How awful is Craig at this game?
To be honest, there were a lot of times where we were playing online with people. A lot of people frustrated at Craig since he seemed to have a hard time keeping his gear up to date, and he kept getting knocked out, having to restart levels. But I think he got past that.
I did. I got past it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember hearing some bitching, and I was like, I wonder how bad
There's
it really
a lot
is.
of bitching, but that's because the monsters can be fucking ridiculous.
They can be, which brings you to gathering resources. So a huge part of the game is
Roxo
when you
says,
go.
"Damn you, Greg." By the way, and that's probably where I heard it from.
Huge part of the game is being prepared for each hunt you go on, because these hunts are not easy. You are a small human trying to fight large, ridiculous monsters. So you have to go gather resources to make things like potions, mega potions, demon drugs, just things to make you a
And
better
the
hunter
traps,
overall. And getting traps, because sometimes you can trap the monster. It gives you better resources if you're not trying to go for carve resources. And then if you need to carve the animal, then it's best to kill him first.
Yeah.
Trapped animals can later be fought in arenas for more loot if you want to. And all of this loot, all of this carving that you're going for is to better your gear. So in this game, you are not leveling yourself up. You are just getting better and better gear, such as your weapons and such as your armor. So one thing I would suggest to new people starting out in this game is there's a lot of different weapons to choose from. I suggest thoroughly testing each one out and decide a couple that you like on, because trying to upgrade and level up all these different weapons will take an insane amount of time.
Yeah, you're going to want to stick with one and really go
I have
for it.
over
Maybe two.
100 hours already logged in this game. I don't 100 and something hours already logged in this game. And that was just
Christ.
and that was me.
That's just a little
And that was
tip of
just
the iceberg.
me really playing with two different weapons and trying to gather resources for two different weapons, and me gathering resources for different armor types I would like to use, because armor is such a huge fucking part of this game. It changes how you play, it changes what you go for. And
Yeah, all the armors have like different little stat boosts, and sometimes they have like set bonuses that they have. So you have to really kind of like go for an armor that will also help with your weapon.
exactly. And in each monster you kill, their weapons and their armor you get from them will kind of embody what that monster did. So there's this monster that does a lot of explosion damage. So his armor from him will help you resist to any blast damage status that has been given to you. Other monsters' armor will help you with something called earmuffs, where when a monster roars, it'll usually stun you and you can't attack during that time. But if your earmuff is all the way up, then that roar won't stun you. Same thing with
Love the muff.
Same thing with
love the
their
muff, yep.
their ground pound, their quake, or I can't remember what it's called. Quake resistance.
Love the ground pound.
See, you can get armor that helps you block that. You can get armor that makes your criticals land more often, more frequently. You can get armor that helps you sharpen your weapons faster, because if you have a weapon with a edge, you have to keep it sharpened in order to do the best damage consistently.
Yeah.
And there's armors to help you with that, to prevent sharpness from going down. This is so in depth that you
armors that
every little
even
part of
allow you
it.
to get better rewards from stuff. So there's a lot of different things and abilities that you can get, not just from armor, but also certain weapons have things like Elder Seal, which helps fight against the Elder Dragons, who have a special like kind of cloaking thing around them.
An
that will
aura
do
would be
damage to
best.
you. Yeah.
Best described as an aura that damages you or pushes you back or whatnot.
Yeah, and also like certain guns have different ammo types and add-ons that you can pick to adjust to.
Bow
what you
guns will
wanna
have a
play
variety of
as.
different ammos, and depending on which monster you're killing for a certain type of bow gun, depends on, that changes what kind of ammo you could use for it and how much you can hold of it. So this game, it plays great, plays awesome, but sometimes the menu management feels like, someone put it doing your taxes. Just menu after menu of stuff that you can upgrade, design, and stuff like that. And even with meal prep, you can spend 15 minutes trying to put together a meal that you can eat before battle, or you can take one of those pre-configured meals before you go. So eating food is a necessity before going out to do any hunt.
Yeah, it will boost your maximum amount of health, stamina, how much damage you can do, how much damage you can take, your elemental resistance, literally everything. It
You
will
gotta
make
eat food before you hunt.
Eat before you hunt. And it is a large amount of food.
It is a bullshit amount of food that no one single human could possibly
And it's funny
eat.
because you usually eat another little meal right afterwards to make it so you can run for longer. But,
you have to keep up your keep up on your rations.
All right.
Does your
'cause
guy
stamina-
get fat like he
No.
does in Fable?
That'd
That's too bad.
that would be pretty awesome.
What is Beto's burrito run you in that game?
Unfortunately, there's no Beta's burrito.
Beta's burrito is on the small size of the meal of what you eat before every hunt.
Yeah. It would be
Anyways,
basically just a
once
regular
you've
ration.
prepared for your hunt, once you have your gear ready to go, once you have your weapon ready to go, it is now time to enter the new ecosystem, depending on what monster you're hunting at that
Enter
point.
the dragon.
And now it's time to start tracking it. So once you get into the world, you are wandering it, looking for clues and signs of where this monster has last been.
Yep.
And you
This
have
includes things like footprints, skid marks, literal shit,
Skid
dead
marks?
bodies.
Yep. Scratch marks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep. You can find their dung and like literally everything.
In an
Just
effort to make the
find
game
these
more
great
accessible, they have included what are called scout flies. Basically, little flies that will fly in the direction that you're supposed to go, like a trail of flies that glow green, and they'll hover around points of interest for you to help, gather resources or find more
things.
tracks.
They'll show you things like where mining spots are, where little. You have a little slinger thing that's basically like a crossbow on your arm constantly. You can find ammo for
that does
it.
literally no damage.
Yeah, it does
but-
no damage, but it basically, I think it's used to get attention from the
Yeah.
monster. Yeah. And also to fire certain special things like pods.
Yep.
But yeah, you get that to so you can find the little ammo, like rocks or like slinger torch stuff, random stuff to help you fight the monsters.
And trails of the monsters that you're fighting. And the more you discover and the more you learn about the monster, it'll populate a little wiki page inside your menu that lets you know the monster's habits, lets you know what type of, what parts you have to carve, what parts you have to break in order to get certain loot off the monster, and their habits. And the more you know about a monster, the quicker you can track him and find him.
Yeah, and once you get it high enough, you basically automatically know where they are once you spawn into a map.
Yep. And once you find the monster, you then have to learn its fighting style. And there's nothing to tell you, oh, now you dodge. It's you are learning how that monster interacts with the environment and how you need to attack it. Certain clues will let you know whether or not it's about to do a big charge. Certain clues will let you know if it's about to destroy you. And you just got to learn in order to fight this monster and then know where your weapon is supposed to go, what you are supposed to hit, what your role is with your weapon. So this is especially important, Craig, when you're fighting with a group of people. When you have a sharp weapon, you tend to go after things that can be cut off, like the tail.
Yep.
When you have a blunt weapon, hammer technically you have to sharpen. I don't understand that, but it's for breaking things, and they go for the head. And your attacks do not damage your friends, but they do knock them back.
Yeah, some like really big, heavy, wide swinging attacks will knock away your friends. You can use this as an advantage to knock them away from damage, or it will sometimes hinder you as it will stop them from doing damage.
But if you put a cohesive group together that knows how to work together, you can slay monsters ridiculously fast. So the difficulty spikes as soon as you add another player. So me and my roommate, we found out playing solo is easier than playing with two people because the monster's difficulty and health reserves go up only once as soon as you start playing with multiple people, and that's ridiculous amount if you're trying to play it with just two people. Three or more, 3 or
But you
4.
get your cats if you're playing with one or
Yeah,
two.
but your cats do not put out any damage. Let's be serious here. They're really there for
Your cat's never put out.
Mine sure doesn't.
I know. I've tried.
Part of the game, part of the design game is you have a little Calico, which is your cat companion, and he's really there just to be adorable. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he also helps gather stuff.
Yeah.
I have mine in a little spaceman suit. It's
So
awesome.
I figured out, and I beat the whole last half of the game solo just because it was easier that way. Craig, there is also a feature of once you have seen all the cutscenes, if you haven't seen them yet, where you can set up an SOS flare, and then anyone in the world can join.
Let's talk
you.
about the multiplayer real quick. So the multiplayer is set up as a sort of, you post a quest that you're going on, and other people can request to join you. So
Yeah.
you can basically stack up before you go into the actual mission.
Correct.
You can also do like regular explorations. So you can go to like a gathering hub and then all go out at once. So you can just go explore instead of just doing a basic hunting mission.
Yep.
But yeah, so and then the other way is you can do an SOS flare, which while you're in just
middle of a hunt.
exploring or in the middle of a hunt, it means that anyone can just join you from anywhere. It doesn't have to be a closed space like our clan.
So we do have the
channel
new,
thing
the
that we've
clan
been
is
using.
represented in Monster Hunter World. If you ever wanted to hop on, we'll send you an invite to the clan.
Nice.
But yes, SOS flare. If you're in the middle of a fighting a monster, you can't quite take them. You can set up an SOS flare and have anyone from around the world to join. And it's really good when you have people from Japan join because they will destroy your monster in no time.
Yep, it's really great. I did that for the last 4 fights.
I'm glad to say I did all those fights
Actually,
alone.
last 3 fights. No,
It just
no
makes you
4
feel
fights.
more accomplished when you can just muscle through a fight on your own. But that is the majority of the gameplay. Any gameplay aspects you wanted to lay out before we get into the things that we didn't like?
Oh, before we get into the things we didn't like
Yeah.
about the gameplay? Okay. I don't know. I really enjoy the multiplayer is kind of a weird setup. It's kind of
Yeah.
odd that you can't just like see everybody around the normal hub, but
Nope.
I do enjoy that like they can just respond to whatever quest that you're posting onto the board. Because there's a lot of different variety in the quests. You can do like certain hunting missions. You can do investigation missions, which usually are also hunting missions. And then there's arena fights where you can literally just go into a mini arena and fight the creatures, where you have special traps laid up already. Things like pulling a lever and like rocks will fall down on them. Like one where there's like cannons and ballistas just set up everywhere to like help fight the monster. And then there's a Dragonator, which basically has two
The Dragonator.
giants- Yeah, it has,
Where's
like,
my Dragonator?
Two giant drill spears that will come out of the fucking wall and rip the thing
The
to
Dragonator
shreds.
has a featured spot in the campaign as well, which was
Yeah.
the end-all, be-all for large monster hunting.
Yeah, it was fucking sweet. And then the other parts that I like about the gameplay is there are natural traps around like the areas in the maps. Like there'll be vine spots that monsters can randomly get stuck in, or in the ancient forest, there's a spot where there's like a natural dam, and if you break it, then the monster will literally be swept away by the water and fall down.
Yeah,
this
so
giant
you can
fucking
use
cliff,
your environment and terrains to your advantage.
which is fucking sweet. The only thing that I guess we can talk about things that we didn't like if you're ready.
No, I was going to say, Broxo brought up a point that reminded me of something funny, is teammates can help keep you healed up. So there are different things you can use that make it so when you use a healing item on yourself, it heals people close by. But there's also different healing items that have an area effect. So I had already beat the game, I think, at this point, and I was trying to help some of our members, including Craig, get past certain hard fights. And I would have to resort to what I call drive-by dusting or crop dusting, to where whenever I saw Craig or someone get real low, I'd quickly run over them and do like a group, an area heal real fast so they didn't die, and then I'd run away and then run back and do a quick buff for everyone. And so I was just trying to help manage the fight in the back scenes, just because we had fucking tried to beat this monster 4 times in a row, but someone keeps dying and hitting the die limit of the hunt. So tried to keep people, on their feet the best I could, and that was one fun aspect. And so, yeah, you can definitely sit in a healer role or a buff role and stuff like that. And there's armor that helps you get there. But now, gripes. Now, I have one pet peeve about this game that I'm going to talk about right now, and that's your fucking scout flies. I hate those fucking things. Yeah, they're great for helping you, see a trail, and great for you, finding some items on your way to collect. But once it finds a monster or finds a monster you're hunting, it will take your in-game camera and force you to look at that monster. Now, this is infuriating because if you ever get carted, that's what it's called when you're passed out and your cats have to come drag you in a cart and dump you back at camp. Once you roll off the cart and you get up and start walking towards the camp to get, to eat again or to get other items, your scout flies will force you to look in the direction of the monster for 2 seconds before you can do anything else. And you could be running and all of a sudden your camera forces you to look a certain way. Now you're running that way.
After like a couple seconds too. It's not like
It's
it
so
immediately
infuriating.
shows you where it is either.
It's great that the scout flies tell me where to go, but have an on-screen prompt to point me in the direction I want to go. Don't take the controls away from me. Don't do that. That's infuriating. Okay.
I'll let the game know.
It also does the same thing if you happen to lock on a monster. If you walk by that monster or it's no longer in your vision, it will literally snap your neck in order to force your guy to look at the creature.
I'm trying to run away, not towards it. I need a heal. Oh, man. Okay, that is my one major infuriating gripe about the gameplay. Any gripes from you?
Oh, that was a really big one. Maybe the entirety of Nergigante. The guy was a fuckface.
Yeah, that's the one where Caleb kept dying. He has this attack that will basically destroy you from full health unless you have certain items to help shield you from it. Basically, all the fights are centered around being extremely hard, and you have to prepare. So I did talk a little bit about how monsters will now interact with each other. That's a huge thing. They wanted the world to where when monsters meet, they will fight for a territory for a while, doing intense amounts of damage to each other before one of them wins and the other one runs away. But one not so fun thing about the monster AI is how they prioritize who to attack. So monsters take turns.
Yeah, it randomly switches.
Monsters take turns of who to attack. It'll attack one person, attack another person, attack another person. And then when you add another monster in the mix, it often seems like monsters attack each other. Then the monsters will then attack players. Then they'll attack each other. And then they just keep fucking switching who they're attacking. It's like, it's the worst day, I think. Like, even if you're like half a area away, it'll be being, trashing this other monster on the ground. Stop. Make a full 180 to look at you and charge halfway across the map to hit you once and then turn back around and go hit someone else. So I think that the monster AI, as it's great, could be better.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of takes out the idea that you could just grab like a class like the one I had of the tank or the charge blade and be a more tanky class because the shield will absorb pretty much all the hits.
There is one
I got
thing you
hit
can do.
by like Nergigante's really big attack that could literally wipe you out in one hit if you get caught by it. With the shield, I took it and did no damage.
There is a mantle that you can put on called the Challenger Mantle for like a minute, where the monster will mainly focus on you, and that will help in that regard.
Yeah, that can help, but it takes away the idea that you could just have roles in the game.
There really isn't roles. You're all just trying to kill the monster and stay alive. That's basically what you're trying to do.
That's pretty much what it's become.
You can't separate into roles if you're trying to get certain loot from off the monster. One person is trying to break horns and stuff off the monster. One person is trying to cut off the tail, because when you do that, you have better chances of getting the items you're looking for. But other than that, really no clearly cut, defined roles.
Yeah, one of the other things that I really didn't like is that there are a couple missions where it forces you to go look for evidence of creatures.
Yeah.
It does this multiple times and across multiple areas.
It's just really go explore an area and find evidence.
Fucking asshole of a mission. You have to do this 4 times, And it's like 3 of them all at once, like at the very end of the game before you can fight like the final 4 creatures.
Yep.
And you have to go look for evidence, and sometimes you can only find little bits of evidence while you're the entirety of the time that
Normally,
you're there.
if you
so you
do-
have to go in and out of the area multiple fucking times just to get maybe if you're fucking lucky, 10% of what you fucking need.
But Craig-
so it takes hours
Craig.
of just going in and out of one fucking map to
Craig.
get the necessary amount.
Craig, that was supposed to be multitasked into doing other
I know,
things.
but it was faster doing it that way.
I know it's
which is
faster doing it that
fucking
way, but you're supposed to
bullshit.
be doing it as you're doing other hunts in that area for better armor. So
No,
you're,
fuck that.
So you're actually, progressing your character stats at the same time.
Oh,
as
I know what it's
progressing the story.
for. I know exactly what it was for, but I wanted it done, Cam.
All right.
I wanted it fucking done.
So-
which means that I had to do that.
Any other?
And especially on the Rotten Vale, there's only one fucking spot. One!
No, there's
where you
more.
could get the fucking thing that you needed. And then it would always tell me that there was another one, so I'd go over to it, and it was always for a different fucking creature. Because the scout flies can't fucking determine which one is which. God, I fucking hate those scout flies. The fucking bullshit go gather the
yeah.
information.
Yeah. You okay?
God.
Any other
Yes.
gripes before we move on?
No, I think that was my
What do you
biggest
give
one.
gameplay out of 10, guys?
Oh, gameplay out of 10. All right, so despite a lot of my rage at the monsters and gathering missions and the fucking camera shit, I'm going to give it a 9. The game is extremely fun, especially with multiple people. There's a lot of things to do in the game. Aside from just hunting monsters, and it has a really long shelf life, I guess, is one of the good things about it.
So there's a lot of shit.
There's a lot of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a grind-heavy game, but it doesn't make you hate grinding unless you really need one certain thing.
Yeah, the one
And-
thing that you'll never
You'll
ever
never get it, and that gets quite frustrating. But
especially when you need 2 Nergigante gems. Cam.
I will also give the gameplay a 9 because even though grinding was fun, it's okay for the most part. So I'm giving it a 9. All right, so now on to art and graphics. What would you give that?
So this is kind of a weird area because they're not trying to go super good looking, I guess.
I thought
It's
it
kind
looked
of
pretty decent.
It looks pretty decent, but there's a lot of like things in the fur mechanics that look really fucking weird. Like it's just blurred lines, you know what I mean? And then when you see the creatures off in the distance, the movements will be like half the frame rate that everything else is, and you can like see it. You'll see their wings be like at one place, and then it'll flash to like a different place. Like you can just see the different frames like doing
Especially
it.
if you're further away from the monster, his movements get more choppy.
It is cool that you can see monsters that far off in the distance, but it does. It seems like something that could be fixed by maybe on PS4 Pro. It doesn't do that. I don't know if like the better system like compensates. But there's a lot of little weird graphic stuff. But I do like a lot of the designs for the creatures. They look really cool. I like the Anjanath, which is kind of like a weird furry
A furry
T-Rex, which weirdly gets like
Fire breath.
spinal wings and then a nose flaring thing, and then
Yeah.
it breathes
Unique
fire.
design.
It's fucking weird. Then there's Nergigante, the big fucking dragon covered in spikes, which is a complete asshole. And then the Radabon, which is another fucking asshole.
The roly-poly monster.
Yep, I fucking hate him. I hate him so much. I hate him more than the Ergon,
Him
which
and
is
his giant
basically
chin.
his cousin. Yep. But yeah, every creature has a pretty unique design. Although I don't like
some of
that
them have repeat designs. Like there's
yeah.
the mudfish, and then there's the lava fish. Same design.
They have a similar design, but they kind of explain it, which is fine. I don't like it
And
when they
there's
just
the
don't explain it.
Radabon and the Explodabon.
Yeah, they're supposed to be a similar species. They just kind of like
Yeah.
their cousin species or whatever, which is fine. But yeah, one of the things I don't like is a lot of the little creatures will look exactly the same or like really similar. Like how there's a Jagras and then the Shamos
McJagras.
and then the whatever the other ones are. They basically look all the same. They're just different colored. They're like all the enemies in the game are lizards, and that's another thing that bothers me is like every single creature aside from the little tiny creatures that you can find that you can capture and make pets, like every single one is a lizard.
Yeah, besides the Kieran though. He's a
Yeah, other than the dragon unicorn who looks just like a unicorn, but they still call him a dragon.
Yeah. Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, he's a lightning unicorn.
One thing that this game suffers from is
And
during
his
the
armor
cutscenes-
is very gay. Very gay.
That's
Think
homophobic, Craig.
It is not homophobic. You literally
you
dress
sound like you're shaking in your boots.
No,
Craig.
you dress like you're
Pull
a
up-
brawny,
pull up-
dude.
pull up,
that is
Kieran
that
armor.
armor. That armor is a brawny
Kirin.
armor.
Brawny,
Armor.
like Brawny Man?
Like the dudes who are obsessed with My Little Pony.
Brony.
Yeah, the bronies.
Brawny is like that dude from the woods with the flannel shirt on.
the fucking
So gay, dude. Looks like
Him and his
Brawny.
gay flannel.
oh yeah. See, there you go, Joe.
There's the armor right there for you, Joe. You can take a look. The guy on
Does
the
look
left.
pretty fucking ridiculous.
fucking weird chaps.
I don't know if a lot of games that have multiple languages you can hear it narrated in, but sometimes the words being said don't quite match to the lip movements.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The brawny man.
It's like make sure you know who Brawny is before we move on.
Is that a big thing when you can play the game, you can have it narrated in several different languages, English, Japanese, and the Monster Hunter specific language to be specific. But because of that, I feel like they had a hard time matching up mouth syncing with what's being said. Did you find that to be a thing or no?
On occasion, yeah, but that would be more of a sound thing.
But
Maybe.
you're just watching the lips going. "Rrr, rrr, rrr." Okay. Anyways, what would you give it out of 10?
For the art and I give it an 8.
An 8? They did use a lot of the same monster designs going through, but it's supposed to all be the same world, so of course the monster's going to be monsters. I'm going to give it... There was a lot of unique ecosystems, a lot of different specific arts, just designs and stuff. I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a 9 for it.
9.
Yeah.
I was probably going to give it a 7, and then I remembered that there's a lot of really great looking environments.
Yeah, definitely. So now music and sound. How did the game sound for you, Craig?
The game sounded fine. There's, you can hear the creatures really well.
You can hear the creatures.
It's like, there's not much to. I mean, okay, so there's like 3 songs that will constantly play, and that's like the extent of the
Epic
soundtrack.
songs.
They're epic songs, yeah.
Do they
But
get
it's-
annoying after 100 hours?
Well, I don't have 100
think
hours.
so.
I have like half Cam's time. It didn't really get annoying. There are some songs that I had stuck in my head for a while after playing.
That's good, right?
But yeah, it's I enjoyed them, but there wasn't a whole lot of variety to the songs. But everything else in the sound was fine for me.
All right.
Weapons sounded great. Remember, there's 14 different weapons that they had to do sounds for. Though all the weapons had their own unique sounds, they all sounded great. The monsters all had their specific things that they would do.
Like their roars, you can hear their footsteps, you can hear them being captured by stuff, like them falling into certain traps.
So I think for this game, they had to go a little above and beyond to get a complete soundscape going, and I think they met what they were going for. Like you said, just not a lot of different themes.
Your handler's voice though really pissed me off
Why didn't you like your handler's voice?
because she's fucking annoying, man, and she talks constantly. I get that she's like basically the entirety of the story in that game because your fucking dude is a creative character, so of course he has no personality or voice. So it's just your handler who is constantly with you has to be the most annoying fucking character in the game.
What would you give it out of 10?
I'd probably give it an 8.
An 8? I'm feeling... Yeah, I'm going to do the 8 too. All right, so now we've come to replayability. Craig, will you play this game again?
Fuck yeah, I'm going to play this game again.
I could say the same thing. I have over 100 hours in this game, and I am not done.
You're not done.
I am not done.
He's nowhere near fucking.
I still have tempered hunts. I still have new DLC hunts.
What's your fucking hunter rank at?
It jumps to like 29 as soon as you beat the game.
Mine jumped to like 16.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm like 29 something.
Oh, fuck you then.
Well, it sounds like he has twice as much time, so it makes
He
sense.
does. He does. It's probably because of the amount
I
of
have
shit
almost
he's done.
I have almost full Nair Gigante armor as well.
How do you gain monster rank after the story? Because like the story
You
is
just
the only
gotta
way
you gotta
beat-
fight bigger and better monsters. You have to
Okay.
defeat them. That's how you get.
So
better
you just
hunter
you
rank.
just get it from killing stuff.
and
then.
your item level has handed as well, but just gotta fight bigger and better monsters.
Okay.
Yeah. Still not done. You fight the main monster, the main bad guy at the end once, but you got to keep fighting him several times in order to even make anything from his armor set or weapon set. They're adding new DLC monsters, and there will be more in the future. Hopefully, some of them will be non-lizard types. So this game, it's gonna stay alive for a while.
Yeah, they have weekly events that they do. Like they'll put up new missions for you to do. In their like special area, and then
And all the new DLC is free for everyone who's purchased the game, right?
I think so. Yeah, outside of like the little emotes and stuff that they have. That
Oh,
are
right,
actual
yep.
DLCs. But there's a lot of stuff that like continuously goes on, like timed events. Zora Magdaros is one of the things that you can randomly do every now and then after you beat him in the story.
Yeah.
And then like several other things, like they have other arena missions that you can do that force you to use certain types of weapons to fight certain monsters, and you have to do it within a certain amount of time with a certain amount of deaths or just random things like that will keep the game fresh and going, and along with like the thousands upon thousands of missions that you already have
Right.
available to you to help gather stuff to grind out.
So
your
11 out of
better
10.
armor. Yeah, it's got a lot going for it for replayability.
Oh, what would you give it?
I would give it a 10.
10 out of 10.
More if you could.
Yep.
All right. So that makes both Caleb and I gave it a 44 out of 50,
Nice.
which is 88
You got
out
your
of
8s and your
100.
9s in different spots, but
So yeah.
88 out of 100. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Metacritic gave it a 90 out of 100 for PS4 and a 91 out of 100 for the Xbox One.
Nice. So
Seems
pretty
like
much right
close.
on. Yeah.
Seems like a glitch. Famitsu gave it a 39 out of 40.
Oh, wow.
Not that we care about them. Because
Yeah, because they're all over the fucking place. Yeah.
Yeah, but-
Fuck me too.
They made definitely so this game, it is hard. Takes a long time to get into it, and you need to invest time into it to get good. But it is still more accessible than previous titles in the Monster Hunter franchise.
Yeah, the learning curve is a lot easier to handle than the other ones.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, 88 out of 100. You heard it here, guys. Monster Hunter World is an addictive game that will keep you entertained for hours and hours and hours. Apparently,
Just
Yeah.
imagine you could have played it.
I could have.
Yep.
But instead, we played Digimon.
Instead, I played Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory.
Time we will never
It's
get
so
back.
much-
Digimon Stories Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory.
Thank you for that.
But not
You're welcome.
Monster Hunter World.
It was a great game, Joe. I think it would have been hard and difficult for you, but you would have been fine. You would have gotten it.
Yeah, he would have called in to the Japanese people.
He
And then,
might have been carried, but he would have had fun.
Yep.
All right. Well, anybody want to bring up anything else on the show before we end it?
Well, what are the streams looking like this week? Are you going to play Mario, or are you waiting?
I might play Mario privately. I'm not sure. I don't have any specific times. I'm working this week. so-
Privately.
yeah.
Like not streaming it?
Is it not on stream?
What's
'Cause
the
I
matter
might
with
just
you?
stream. I might just play for like an hour or two.
Oh.
I don't know. This
An hour or
week,
two is a fine amount to
Hey!
stream.
Hey, thanks for the subscribe.
Yeah, thanks, man. Slant 13.
yeah, I'm gonna have 2 pretty full weeks coming up here. So I might have to put off Paper Mario by like a week, the review, but hopefully not.
All right.
But
I'll be streaming it tomorrow and Tuesday for a good chunk of time, so guys, come hang out for that stream. I got my Mario shit set up, as you can hear through this episode, and I'm looking forward to that. We just submitted some emojis or emoticons for Twitch. Now, the setup's not quite what I thought it was, so we're affiliates, but when we become Twitch sponsored, if we ever can become that, which is sick to get, then we unlock a shitload of like slots for our emojis. Right now, we only have like certain emojis for certain slot subscribe amounts. So those who subscribe, you like unlock more the more you subscribe, but it's kind of ridiculous because one of them's $25.
Oh.
So I have Caleb Craig's as the first level, and then so everyone gets Craig.
So then they don't need anybody else.
But I
It's
made
fine.
mine the second tier.
We'll wait until they get approved, right?
Yeah, they have to be approved
Yeah.
first, and then
There
Joe's
was-
is the third tier.
There was one instruction on there which I wasn't 100% sure on, so I'm just wondering if
We'll see what happens.
we get it in.
So we should have at least a Craig moat for you guys to play around with and pollute the Twitch
I
landscape with
love
Craig's
it.
face.
It's such a good emote.
It is such a good image. You should give the people on Twitch a taste of it because it's hilarious. You just pull it on there. But yeah. So we'll get into that. That was my
Are
one
we
thing I
gonna
did. For
Are we gonna
the
stream any
shows this
Fortnite
week.
as a clan?
I think we should.
I think it's necessary at this point.
Well, what night are you guys want to play?
Well, whatever night works for you.
Well, I'm working, so not Wednesday. Yeah,
I
Wednesday's
can make that work.
Wednesday's the busy day at FedEx, so I assume I won't get home until later. Yeah, I don't know. We'll
Okay.
figure it out.
Okay.
Just keep your notifications on for Twitch, guys. That's how you'll know. Come on.
That's the Craig moat right there.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
So that's the one you'll get as soon as it's approved. So enjoy that when the time comes. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And I think what I'll probably do until maybe the one day in the future when we become made men and actually get the true affiliate thing, I might just like trade out which one we use.
Yeah.
Every few weeks, like I'll just put the Joe one as the next one, and then mine.
This is the cam emote going to just be super rare.
Yeah, the cam mode will be like the
Sexy
It's
cam.
hardly ever there.
What are the hashtags or whatever?
What do you mean? Oh, the names.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had to name them. It sucks because it starts at nude and then CL, so it's going to be nude CL Cubby,
Fuck you.
nude CL Schweiss, and then nude CL Joe.
Oh man, it could be more perfect.
I should just do nude Clubby instead, like
Nude Clubby.
because it forces us to do the nude CL part. Because that's like part of the name, so I should just make it nude Clubby. It sucks though because it capitalizes the first letter, so like that's why I put Cubby, nude Clubby, Cubby. So yeah,
What's the matter with Cubby?
Fuck you guys.
You don't say fuck you to your mom when she calls you that.
Yeah, Cubby.
That's why she's the only one that can say it. It's fine. You fuckers can't.
Oh, shit, it was her mistake for calling you
Come
Cubby
on,
in front of us.
I'm gonna spend a whole stream next time,
Cubs.
just like micromanaging Caleb's emoji or emote face, and like move it with his movement in real life,
Oh my God.
so that it's just emote Craig all episode on
We
Twitch.
should make him wear just a green mask.
Yeah, so I can just put his face, green screen his face in there. Nothing else green could be on the stream. Nothing.
No, more green stuff just randomly, so it's just like more Craig face.
Yeah, more Craig faces randomly on the fucking. That would be great.
Oh, it's great. All right. Let's end it, guys. Check out nudeclan.net. Check out our other shows, Ultimate Final Fantasy, the Godzilla Podcast, Puff Puff Hour. You can support us by going to Patreon. You can also support us by going to audibletrial.com/nudeclan. If you want to see us stream the episodes live and occasionally the games live as well, Twitch.tv/NudeClanGaming.
Yeah, subbing to there is a great way to support the show as well. We did get some dough from the old Twitch, so thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/NudeClanPodcast. That's nude spelled NEWD. And we are on Twitter at NudeClanPodcast as well. That's where the votes are. That's where occasionally there's some fun little tweets.
Do we have any other votes coming up?
Not for a couple weeks.
What am I
Caleb-
supposed to be playing?
Nothing.
I have.
You got your break time.
I beat
Each of us
Monster Hunter
has
World so
somewhere
early.
where we have a break.
I'm kind of listless right now,
alone.
guys.
Just play Catherine with me and
Play,
God.
play Resident Evil 1 on PS1. Play that piece of shit.
You love that, Catherine.
You can tweet me at Joseph DeGollier.
Me at Obsidian Ba.
Me at Nude Clan Cam.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And I think that's everything, guys. We'll see you next week. I think history of video games. I think it's time. I think it's time to bring it back.
Sounds good.
Nice. Enjoy the nude, you guys.
Nani.
Live always in the nude.
Fuck off.